Hi everyone, welcome back to Cooking with Aubrey. Today we're gonna make stuffing. I wanted to make a side that you can bring for Christmas. It's to die for. It's melting in my mouth, nice and buttery and delicious, and I can't wait to eat it. Oh yeah, you guys ready for this today? All right, so we're just gonna get started. We're gonna start off by slowly cooking down some carrots, onion, and celery. And we're gonna cook that down in butter, nice and slow, so it gets all nice and soft and just melts in your mouth. And we're gonna put herbs in there as well to infuse the flavor into the herbs with that butter and the veggies. And then we're gonna cut up bread, we're gonna cube it up, we're gonna toast it in the oven, dry it out, and then at the end, we'll mix everything together with some stock. It's really easy, really simple. It's gonna be delicious. So, all right, so we're gonna start by peeling some carrots, and we're just gonna cube up all of the veggies nice and small because you don't want big chunks of veggies in your stuffing. Like imagine if you were taking a bite of stuffing and there's just this big chunk of just carrot in there. All right, so carrots, celery, and onion, that's the foundation for a lot of different types of things like soups, braises, stuffing. Really, there's a lot of things start with the foundation of those three vegetables. It's called mirepoix if you want to be fancy and impress somebody. You know, like cook someone a nice meal and be like, oh, we're going to start off by cooking some mirepoix. Mirepoix. It's really just onions, carrots, celery. So that's what we're doing. Veggies are really going to add in some extra flavor into the stuffing than just bread and stock, you know? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I was standing outside waiting for you. You were always taking time, baby, playing it through. I was calling out your name, with my eyes on the wall. You were running like a ghost from me. You were running from it all. You got me waiting, I'm on fire. You got me waiting, my desire. Keep on moving to the purpose now, to the ending of the ocean. Keep on moving to the purpose now, to the ending of the ocean. You've been playing my mind lately, turn it around. Once I thought you were mine, baby, we're safe and sound. You got me waiting, I'm on fire. You got me waiting, my desire. I follow your heartbeat. Keep on moving to the purpose now.
All right, guys, so now that we have finished cutting up all of our veggies, as you can see here, we are going to start cooking it in some butter. Okay, without butter, what is there? Okay, nothing. Anyway, so we're gonna cook this in butter. Now you can use 2-3 sticks of butter. Hey, how's it going? Hi. What's going on? What the hell? I didn't mean to startle you. I'm future Aubrey. I knew you were going to want some help today, so I'm here to help you. You're welcome. Don't be rude.
What are you wearing?
This is the style of the future. What do you want me to say?
I'm confused. Yeah.
I look good. Just don't you worry your pretty little head. I'm here to help. Anyway, you're gonna want to use 3 sticks of butter, not just 2. That's what your coworkers are gonna prefer when you're feeding them later today. Okay, Aubrey? Butter is the flavor of life, right?
3 sticks of butter.
Right?
Got it. So how far in the future are you from? Like 10 years or?
Far enough to know that your day's gonna be incredible.
So you're from tomorrow.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about when I'm from. I gotta get going. I have 10 kids and 3 dogs that are waiting for me that I gotta start taking care of. Bye.
Did she just say 10 kids and 3 dogs?
I don't think so.
That be crazy. What the hell what just happened, guys? What just happened?
Anyway, so back to cooking. So I guess we're using 3 sticks of butter. So we're gonna melt the butter in the pan. The pan is preheating on low heat right now. And then we're gonna cook these babies down. 3 sticks of butter. Woo! It's on low heat. All right, now we're going. Now we're gonna add the veggies. And now we're gonna add salt. Foster, this is for you. I'm measuring for you. So this is a half tablespoon. So 1, 2, 3. Actually, I'm pressed for time, so I'm gonna turn mine up a little bit. I have to go to work. I always make these videos before I go to work. So I'm gonna turn it up actually to a medium heat. And I'm just gonna cook this down. All right, so now we're gonna put the herbs in there. So we're gonna just put it in a little cheesecloth. Honestly, it's just because I'm lazy. I'm a lazy person and I don't wanna cut up the herbs. So by putting it in a cheesecloth and then putting it in the butter, there's enough butter in there that it's gonna, that it will just infuse in there. So I'm just gonna, what am I doing? I can't talk and do this at the same time. Why am I filming videos? I cannot talk and do this at the same time. Anyway, so you need to just cut a little bit of cheesecloth, okay? Have some butcher's twine. It's called butcher's twine. They sell this stuff in stores, guys. It's there, I promise. Especially like Walmart stuff. I shop at Fresh Thyme. Fresh Thyme has it. Anyway, so you got your cheesecloth. It's double layered, okay? And then you're just gonna, this is just a poultry blend of herbs. It's rosemary, sage, and thyme. And they sell this blend of the 3 different herbs pretty commonly in stores. So at least around here, so it's sage, rosemary, thyme. If you can't find it in a blend like this, it's usually called Poultry Blend. Then, so you're just gonna put your herbs on top of the cheesecloth. And then you just fold it. So we're just gonna fold this end, okay? Fold this part over, fold this part over. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yes, I say things like that. Okay, so you just cut off some twine. Literally, it's just to keep it together. I'm just gonna wrap it around a couple times and then just tie it off. That's all you do, and we're just gonna throw this right into the pot and or the pan, and I'm just gonna cut off this excess because it's annoying, not necessary. And then you just throw it in. Look at that. You just throw it right in there. You just get it all in there, nice and good luck. Nice and good luck. All right, we just let that go in there. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Oh yeah. See how that's cooking down? That may have looked like a lot of veggies at the start, but it's gonna cook down. Got our nice herbs here infusing. Look at that. Oh yeah. Guys, so I cut off a piece of that focaccia bread. So this isn't toasted. I just cut this off. I'm gonna dip it in the butter and the veggies. I'm hungry, right? I didn't eat anything yet today. Now I got that butter and them veggies that are cooking on there. It's so good. So good. All right, so now it's time for the bread. So you want to make sure your oven is preheating. I have mine preheating at 350. And we are going to now cut the bread, and we're going to toast it in the oven. Because you want the bread to dry out because it needs to absorb the stock, all the liquid. And then also by toasting it in the oven, you add a little bit more flavor when you toast up the bread, because it's when you toast something, you know, when it starts turning like that nice golden brown, that means the sugars in the food are starting to caramelize, and that's why things taste better with that nice golden brown, you know, crust all the time. We have two types of breads here. I'm using a 3-cheese focaccia bread. Multigrain Batard. I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no idea what a batard is. It's this. It's a multigrain type of bread. The reason I chose these ones are for flavor. So I'm gonna use half and half of each for this recipe. So this has a ton of flavor in it. Multigrain is adding a lot more flavor to it. You don't want, you know, Wonder Bread. Please just go to the bakery and get an actual loaf of bread. When you are cutting bread, you want to make sure that you're using a serrated knife like this, because it's going to be much easier eat your bread with a serrated knife versus just a flat, like regular chef's knife blade. I'm only using half of each. I got this bread at Fresh Thyme. I get everything at Fresh Thyme. You're just gonna have your hand flat like this so you're not cutting your fingers. So have it flat like this. Just go across the bottom. Keep your knife level. Whatever, it's fine. All right, it's just stuffing. Again, you're gonna want this small cubes, because keep in mind, however big the cube of bread is, that's how big it's gonna be. So keep that in mind. So you wanna keep it on the smaller side here.
Say something meaningful, say something I don't know. I wanna know you better. The way that you talk to me, the way that you make me feel, I don't know if you're real. I wanna put you in that spotlight, looking at you all night. Put you in that spotlight. Oh, you make me feel.
All right, so now we're gonna put this bread in the oven, and we just let it get nice and toasty at 350. So I'm just gonna mix these around. You just wanna make sure they're all getting cooked evenly. You can see it's starting to toast up a little bit here. They have a couple more minutes to go. The veggies are done now, guys. As you can see, they have cooked down. They're nice and soft, and the butter has been infused with the herbs. So I just tasted a little bit of it, and you can actually taste the herbs in it from it infusing the flavor. So now we're just gonna take this out, and we're just gonna throw this away. For the stock, you wanna use something good. So I here have bone broth. Well, let me tell you real quick about bone broth. I don't like the term bone broth, because if you're making stock or any kind of broth, it's going to be made with bones, unless it's a veggie one. All stock and all broth is bone broth if made properly, just so y'all are aware. Anyway, in the store though, typically the higher quality stock or whatever is going to be labeled as bone broth. So for this, you want to opt for a more expensive stock if you can, because that stock is really going to be a prevalent flavor in the stuffing, because that's where a lot, like, it's absorbing all of that moisture is coming from this. So, and the butter. So sometimes, like in some recipes, I use like better than bouillon, and this kind of just dissolves into, you dissolve it into hot water. For this, I'm not going to use this, because it's not a recipe where I want to use this, because I want to use something just a little bit more higher quality. So if you can, go ahead and get the better bone broth. This one is called Zoop. Good, really good. Better be really good. I'll be pissed if it ain't. So now we're just going to heat up the stock at a high temperature. You just want it to bring it to a simmer just so it's nice and hot. All right, so now I just have all the veggies and butter in this big mixing bowl because we're gonna combine everything. And then I got the toasted bread right here, and then I got the stock back there on the stove just warming up. And we're just gonna mix everything together. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt in with the bread because you have to salt everything properly salt. Be salt, baby. Salt. Yes. So you want to move fast with this part though when you're putting the bread into with the butter, because the bread, as soon as it touches the butter, is going to start absorbing it. So you need to add it in and then quickly mix it up so everything's evenly coated. So you want to add the bread into the butter and the veggies and then start folding from the bottom to the top to coat the bread in the butter. And then we're going to add another teaspoon of salt, make sure it's properly salted. And then you're going to keep folding from the bottom to the top. The reason you do this is to keep the bread from breaking apart. If you stir in a circular motion, you may break apart the pieces of bread. So make sure you keep folding it in so it doesn't look like mush or Alpo, as Chef Bucci liked to say. We weren't allowed to make anything look like Alpo, so neither are you guys. You want to keep it looking beautiful and fresh and not like dog food. Yum. And just keep adding in stock until it is nice and soft. Just add in a cup of stock at a time. I like mine a little bit more crunchy. You could add as much or as little liquid as you want. All right, let's give this puppy a little taste, a little nibble, if you will. It's buttery, rich. That stock is really prevailing through, and it's a really good stock. So it's delicious. You get the there's that another dimension of flavor because of all those vegetables. The bread itself has a lot of flavor, so there's just a lot of flavor happening in here. Every bite is just packed with flavor. This is not a boring, bland stuffing by any means. You can really taste the rosemary in this. I tasted the herbs more than I thought it would. I thought that me taking the lazy way out was gonna not pay off in the end, but it did end up paying off in the end. You taste the rosemary and the sage a lot. Not really so much the thyme, but mine has a tiny bit of crunch in it still. I like it like that. If you don't, just add more liquid. But I don't like mine just to be super like mushy. It's just, I gotta go to work. I should have left like 10 minutes ago. I still have to change because they won't be happy if I show up like this.